Welcome back, students. In this video, we will work in the reading section for Unit 9. So let's check what we need to do. It says we need to read the text on page 66. We need to complete these sections about the reading, academic vocabulary, content vocabulary, and the writing section. So that's a little bit of work, so let's get to it. So I'm going to play the audio. Make sure you listen and read along.
Page 66. Reading. Shoes. A need or desire.
Shoes, a need or desire. Through the ages, shoes have been used for protecting the feet, as a status symbol, and as an object of desire. The famous 5,300-year-old frozen corpse that was recently discovered by hikers in the Alps was remarkably well preserved. Even the clothes and shoes of the prehistoric human had survived well. The shoes were made of leather and were quite sophisticated. They were waterproof and wide, and they were designed for walking across the snow. The ancient human's footwear was made of animal skin on the outside and soft grass on the inside. The grass functioned like a modern sock. In ancient Egypt, sandals were worn mostly by the rich and by the nobility. Sandals were generally made from woven palm leaves or papyrus, and they were strapped on the foot by leather bands. The ancient Greeks prized style and elegance in their footwear, whereas the Romans were more concerned with designing shoes that were suitable for military actions. Footwear played a major role in the development of the Roman civilization. The creation of more comfortable shoes permitted Roman armies to travel farther and wider across rougher terrains and expand their conquests. The ancient Chinese had many rules of etiquette or social behavior. Rules stated that people should take off their shoes before entering the house. The social status of people was reflected by the shoes they wore. Ordinary people could wear straw or rough cloth shoes in the colors of blue, green, or white only, while nobles wore leather or silk. In modern times, shoes have become a fascination or even an obsession to many people. Anybody who is anybody is sure to have hundreds of pairs of shoes. The list includes Elton John, Mariah Carey, Beyoncé, and others. In the 1980s, former Philippine First Lady Imelda Marcos became known worldwide for her shoes. She possessed approximately 2,700 pairs, which she kept in specially designed shoe closets. Today, Imelda's collection has been surpassed by the collection of Anna Della Russo, editor of Japanese Vogue magazine. She is the owner of more than 4,000 pairs of shoes. Anna is so obsessed with shoes that she keeps an apartment just to store her huge collection of clothing and shoes. They call her the Queen of Shoes. However, according to the Guinness World Records, the largest collection belongs to Darlene Flynn. She possesses approximately 14,600 shoes. Can you imagine how many years she would need to wear each pair of shoes for just one day? Whether it's for necessity or for vanity, the fascination with shoes clearly continues over the centuries.
All right, so if you need to, listen to that more than once and be sure to practice reading it to yourself out loud. So let's get started on about the reading. Answer true or false. The prehistoric man's shoes were sophisticated for the time. So if you don't know sophisticated, you should look it up. That's a good word to know. Let's go back. And it says recently discovered by hikers. What survived well? The shoes were made of leather and were quite sophisticated. Quite sophisticated. So that's a true. The Romans weren't as concerned as the Greeks about elegant shoes. All right, so let's go back. This one talks about, here we go. The Greeks prized style and elegance, whereas the Romans were concerned with designing shoes that were suitable for military action. So the Romans were not concerned as the Greeks about elegant shoes. That is true. Number 3, in ancient China, no one could enter a house with shoes. All right, here we go. Ancient China had many rules. People should take off their shoes before entering the house. So that is also true. Number 4, Anna Della Russo's shoe collection isn't as large as Imelda Marcus's. All right, so let's take a look. Anna Della Russo has 4,000 and Imelda has 2,700. So this says Anna Della Russo's shoe collection isn't as large as Imelda's. This is false. It is actually larger. And number 5, Darlene Flynn's collection is so large that it was featured in the Guinness Book of Records. So let's look at that. However, according to the Guinness World Records, the largest collection belongs to Darlene Flynn. There you go. So that is true. That is interesting. No one needs that many shoes. All right, so academic vocabulary, this section, says to complete the sentences with the following words: approximately, expand, function, role, status symbol, and whereas. If you're not sure about these words, you should pause the video and go look them up in your dictionary and write the definition for each one here and then return to the video. But for now, we are going to continue. Darlene Flynn isn't sure exactly how many shoes she has, but she has blank 14,600 pairs of shoes. So another word for almost would be approximately. Approximately. Well, there you go. Number 2, and let's cross that one out. The Romans valued practicality in their sandals, blank, the Greeks valued elegance. So you're saying something that's contrary. So something like but or however. So the only one of these that's close is whereas. So whereas the Greeks valued elegance. There you go. Number 3, people like Darlene Flynn are always planning to blank their collections. All right, so what do you think? You have expand, function, and role. And status symbol. So if you have a collection and you want more, that is going to be expand. They are always looking to expand their collections. Number 4, the primary blank of shoes is to protect the feet. All right, so we have function, role, and status symbol. So the primary function, the primary role. I think function, but role is close too. So what we'll do is we'll wait on number 4 and we'll go to number 5. Comfortable, long-lasting footwear played a blank in helping the Roman Empire grow. So here you go. It played a role. So there you go. So there's role. Now let's go back to number 4. The primary function of shoes is to protect the feet. There you go. So that's how, if you're ever not 100% sure, go on to the next ones and then come back. So that's an exercise in how to complete your work. So the last one should be status symbol, but let's read it and make sure. In different cultures over the centuries, shoes have been a status symbol. Very good. Status symbol. All right, so that is it for academic vocabulary. Be sure to practice reading this on your own. Now, your content vocabulary says to circle the words that are materials. All right, so let's try this. So leather. Leather, like cowhide, is that a material? Yes. A noble. A noble? No, a noble is a person. All right, what about a sock? A sock is a thing. Now, straw is a material. Sandals are things that are made. Now, cloth is what you make clothes out of, sometimes shoes, so that is a material. Silk is a very fine, very fancy material. And footwear is a type of thing, so that is not a material. So there you go. Leather, straw, cloth, and silk are all the materials. All right, so we're not working on the speaking section, but we are doing this. So let's go back and look at Google Classroom so we can make sure that we understand the work. It says, complete this section in your notebook. Write a minimum of 1 paragraph. A minimum of 1 paragraph. All right, so writing says, write about a product or brand that impresses you. So it can be impresses you. Typically this means positive, but you could be impressed by how bad it is as well. So any product, write 1 paragraph explaining what the product is that impresses you and why it impresses you. It could be cars, shoes, clothes, potato chips, water bottles, soda, a non-profit organization that maybe sells something to help their cause. So think about it carefully and write a minimum 1 paragraph about a product or brand that impresses you and why. So that is it for this video. We are finished with this unit in the student book. Congratulations. Have a great day.